Good day and welcome back to the Family Cyber News Daily, where on Mondays we focus on family cyber safety and security. Firstly, the video is going to be longer than our promised 3 minutes, but note that there'll be chapter markers which would allow you to skip exactly what you want or skip to exactly what you want after the live broadcast, of course. Okay. Today, we're telling parents and caregivers that you can set up parental controls on devices like iPhones, Android phones, laptops, that's Windows and Macs, streaming services like Netflix, Prime Video, YouTube, and then consoles like PlayStation and Xbox. The vendors have you covered, okay? This will help you, parents that is, to manage and monitor things like screen time, block explicit content, set app limits, protect against accidental purchases, and more. Today, I'm specifically going to show you how to do this on an iPhone, okay? But before I do, I'll first give you a summary of how to enable parental controls on all devices mentioned, including the iPhone, okay? If the summary somehow does not, match the device that you have, let me know. Let's engage in the comments, and I will make a video to cover that sometime soon. All right. Okay, so to set up parental controls on a smartphone, let's start with an iPhone. You go to settings. Remember, this is the summarized version for the iPhone. I'll show you an in-depth one much later on. So on iPhones, you just go to settings, click on screen time, enable it, and turn on content and privacy restrictions. There you'll be able to block explicit content, set app limits, and more. All right, that's a summarized version. On an Android device, you go to Google Pay or Google Play Store, they call it. You can tell that I'm not an Android user. You tap on settings, and I believe it's family parental controls, and then you just toggle it on. All right. There again, you'll be able to set restrictions for apps, movies, and even purchases. Speak English, Lawrence. Then on laptops and desktops, on Windows in particular, you go to settings, accounts, family, and other users. And then you'll be prompted to add a child account. There you can enable web and app restrictions. For Macs, you go to system preferences, screen time, select your child's profile, and then you customize limits for apps and websites. You can see a trend, okay? Then on streaming services and consoles, platforms like Netflix and YouTube, it's made easy, all right? On Netflix, you create a kid's profile in account settings, and then for YouTube, you use YouTube Kids. Made enough noise about that, the videos on the channel. You turn on, so you either enable YouTube Kids or you turn on restricted mode. That will give you the protection that you seek. For PlayStation or Xbox, you go to the settings, family management, to restrict mature games and set playtime limits. For even more control, thank you, Lawrence, try third-party apps like Custodio. If you go to the channel or even the website, www.familycyberclinic.com, you'll see links to Custodio. There's also the Norton family. These tools let you manage screen time and monitor activity across all devices, okay? So at this point, if you're a non-iPhone user, feel free to leave the broadcast because I want you to stay, but I'm keeping my 3-minute promise. And if you do have to leave, then I'll see you tomorrow, same time, for our Tuesday broadcast, okay? For those of you who have iPhones and want to go in depth, let's go. All right. Now then, I'm going to show you how to set up parental controls on your child's iPhone. It could be an iPhone 11 all the way up to our iPhone 15 or 16. Even the latest, actually, no, I'm covering the latest iOS version. I think that's 18.x. It would be 1 or 2, but it will work exactly as I'm going to detail it. So we're going to go to the iPhone. You will not see me for a bit, but I'm just going to go through so that you can get a feel on exactly how this is done. And I don't know whether you're going to have music, but we'll just go there, right? So we're going to the iPhone. I'll see you on the other side. All right. If you can still hear me, I'm sure you can. I can see the ticker moving. All right. So on the iPhone, and I'm going to click on settings, typically you'll go to, there are many ways to get to family sharing, but you've got to set up family sharing. And to set it up, you will go to, let's see, you click on your picture. Already I have it set up in preparation for this live, but you will normally click on your picture. Mine says Lawrence Idem, as you can see, and there you have a version there, or rather an item there in the drop down. You can see their family that says 2 members. So you click on family. So for you, you will have to set up the child's account, okay? Because typically you have to create a child's account, the account that you want to manage, okay? I have done that already, which is a shame because I would have loved to, direct you through, but it's not a problem. Believe me, it's very straightforward. Just follow the prompts as you see it. So you set up family sharing. You have to go click your picture and then click on family, and then you get all that. Okay, family sharing allows you to manage your child's device and set up parental controls. All right. Open settings like I've just done, and you click on the name at the top. You select family or family sharing. You tap add member and choose create child account. All right. That, of course, you're not seeing at the moment because I've already done mine. All right. So, but follow the on-screen instructions to create an account for your child. All right. Okay. So once that's done, we're going to enable screen time. All right. And to enable screen time, now we're going to start moving on the iPhone. You go to, so I'm clicking for my set for the sake of the live, I'm going to click on James, who is age 10. So I click on it and you'll see screen time there. And now to set up screen time, you just click on screen time and it's going to do some updates. But if you look right down as I'm scrolling down, you can see things that you can limit. All right. But you've got to turn on screen time, and to just turn it on, go to settings, screen time, tap turn on screen time. Bob is your uncle. Select setup as parent and follow the prompts. Once you set a screen time password, which will help prevent unauthorized changes, you can now do things like set downtime, set app limits, always allowed screen distance, communication limits, communication safety, and then you have their content and privacy restrictions. So there's so much that you can do. Let's look at setting downtime. Now, I'm not sure all this will work because I only just set this yesterday. But you click on downtime and it will prompt you for the passcode that you would have set at some point during the screen time setup. It will always prompt you to do that. Okay, so I'm going to put my details, and now it's allowing me to turn on downtime, and you can see it there. So you set the start and end times during which the device is restricted. Painfully, this is it's turning out to be a long video, but I did warn you. But ideally, you have to set the start and end times during which the device is restricted. You can see here the time here that I've set is from 10 o'clock to 7 o'clock in the morning. All right. So you will tweak it to your own preference or the way you generally role in your household, but it must fit the schedule for the house so that you're not getting in the way with tech. All right. All right. So that will be downtime. I'm not turning it on, but you have to turn on downtime. All right. For all that to work. So I'm coming out of it. Then the next one will be app limits. If you see, I'm clicking on app limits. Again, if it's set up, you'll be able to just toggle. For you, it will be gray. If you click on the button that you can see on the toggle there, it will turn green. All right. So you go into screen time and then you tap, like I've just done, app limits. You tap add limit, select app categories or specific apps, and set daily time limits. All that will help you. Once you've done, you come out. Again, because I've not enabled it, that's not going to happen right in front of you. Then you have other things there like content and privacy restrictions, which I'm going to. Can you see it? Yes, you can. All right. So if I click on content and privacy restrictions, you can see a lot of things that we can configure. All right. So all this puts you back in control. If you've lost control in any way or form, for this, you'll need to see me. So generally, you have your young one who perhaps has done something and needs a little hand holding. The parental control app is just designed to allow you do that. Okay. I know that many frown at the opportunity of using parental controls because you feel that you are bossing your child or you're looking for a word that will fit. Yeah, you've got to do those things. Watch out. But basically, you're preventing them from having a life, is what some will argue. But if you love your child so much, like we all ought to do, everything you want for them is out of love. As long as you carry them along. So you're carrying them along the journey. This is why I'm doing this. We've shared videos on those engagements. Communicate with them and then establish the reason why this is necessary. And at some point, both of you will agree, or if there are more children, all of you will agree when it needs to be lifted. And gradually, you'll find that your child gets into a routine. And that's important. Okay, so don't look at this on the negative. This is really important. All right, so looking again at the content and privacy restrictions, you turn it on and you can see in there, you can restrict inappropriate content and settings. So once you've enabled it, you can set restrictions for I think I mentioned it already. You can, let's see. On top there, you can see iTunes and App Store purchases. That's important. That, I don't know where, God forbid that it happens to you, but I know parents who have had a bill come through that they don't know where it's come from. And after much digging, they found out that things were being purchased via, stores, app stores on consoles. And things like that, or even on phones, like we've established now. And Apple, the vendor who has our best interests at heart, you better believe it, they do, have provided avenues for that to be protected. And the parental controls or the family sharing thing that we've set up today will allow you to do that. So it's sincerely a good thing. So iTunes and App Store purchases can be prevented. Accidental purchases can be prevented just by, setting restrictions for it via the privacy and content restrictions. You also have allowed apps there and features. Again, this can be disabled so that your child doesn't have access to apps that are, wrong for them. And you also have content restriction. You can set age appropriate content ratings. All those are there. And once you enable it, you have a lot to do, or a lot of features to enable that will allow you monitor your child in a very healthy way. Okay? Now we have communication limits. I need to move this on. Communication limits. As it reads there, limits apply to phone, FaceTime messages, and iCloud contacts. Communication to known emergency numbers identified by the child's network provider is always allowed, and that makes sense. Okay? So if you see all these things that I'm discussing, you can control who your child can communicate with. In screen time, you simply, like I did, click on communication limits. You set limits for contact. You can see there's a toggle where it says manage James's contacts. If you click that to toggle it on, you'll find that you now have access to James's contacts. You can set limits for contacts during allowed time or screen time and downtime. Okay, we go to the next one. Let me see if I have some time to do this. Let's see if I go out. I'm making sure that yeah. Okay, so if you look at the screen now, you can see there's an ask to buy. Ask to buy. This is a godsend. Okay. To prevent those ridiculous bills, accidental purchases that your child may have made, you can enable ask to buy. I'm clicking it now. If it's enabled, you'll find that anytime the child accidentally clicks on something that will make a purchase, there will be a code that will be required before that purchase can go through. So in family sharing, you select your child's account like I'm doing now, okay? And then tap ask to buy, and then you simply enable it, all right? And then we have lock and hide apps. Lock and hide apps. Now, once family sharing is enabled on your son or daughter's device, you will find that this feature gets enabled. And if I go back to the iPhone, you'll see that if I, let's say, go to Facebook and I want to hide or restrict, lock the app, I can click require Face ID, and you see what comes up. It says hide and require Face ID. If I have family sharing and screen time enabled, I can do this also on my sons or daughters, granddaughters in my case, phone. Once you click on hide and require Face ID, your son or daughter will not be able to view that app if they click it. Okay? And that's a safety feature, as you can see. All right, so I don't know whether there's any need to go further, but you can see the lots of features, and I took the pain to show you this because these are all features that will bring value to your son or daughter's relationship online. Okay, there's so much more, but at least I've given you a head start. So the steps that we've shown you, certainly this is long. The steps will help you set up comprehensive parental controls on your child's iPhone. The steps I showed you were particularly for iOS 18 and above. They will give you control over the device and help ensure your child has a safe, age-appropriate experience. For more detailed information, you can refer to Apple's own official guide on setting up parental controls with family sharing, okay? And that's all. That's it, as they say. That's it, folks. Simple and effective ways to set up parental controls. Don't forget, technology is just a tool. Open conversations and trust are key. Please like this video if you liked it and hit the subscribe button to support the channel and get us on to 1,000 subscribers. Please note that it is totally free. Share this content with other parents so that they also can keep their families safe. I've been your host, Lawrence Idem. Until tomorrow, same time, a lot shorter, the 3-minute quota. Okay, tomorrow. God bless and goodbye.